Not too long ago, I got an amazing opportunity to go to South Africa to bring animal chiropractic to the country, to teach veterinarians in the country about animal chiropractic, to have an amazing experience, work on some crazy and phenomenal animals. So my team and I went there, worked on some amazing things, and we want to take you along in this journey. We want you to see what we did and see how animal chiropractic can be brought to different nations and how it can change the lives of people and animals near you. So in different parts of the world, we see animals kind of in a different way. We are animal lovers at heart. And because of that, we want to make sure that they are protected in all aspects and that they are treated right. Here in Africa, animals that have value live longer. And what I mean by that is an animal that doesn't have very much value, they don't see as something maybe worth preserving. But if something has value, then it's very worth preserving. So we actually got to learn about conservation and how hunting in Africa has actually raised the population to numbers they'd never seen before. And I know that may sound a little weird, but what happens here is they actually take the money and the time to breed up animals to reintroduce them back into the wild. So we actually learned from a professional hunter that animals, there were only around 50,000 animals here, and now there are millions upon millions of animals because of the efforts taken by hunters to conserve and regrow population. So in the long run, basically, hunting has brought back animals, protected animals,
Yep.
increased populations,
Yep.
made sure that animals that were going to be killed off by starvation or other have been saved in some way,
yeah.
and basically brought back South Africa in population numbers.
Yeah, I mean, you can go anywhere in Africa. South Africa is the greatest success story for animal numbers. Kenya closed all of its hunting. The population there has dropped by 70% of their game species because there's no one protecting there, and there's not enough rangers, there's not enough hunter money coming in to be able to protect them. But now your Peters and all of those people that are trying to say giraffe, there are plentiful giraffe. Oh no, it's an endangered species. It's not an endangered species. Every single farm that's a little private little game farm around here, every single one of them has got 2, 3, 5, 15.
You told us in the car it was like $2,000 American to buy one?
To buy one, 1,000, yeah, between 1,700 and 2,000 US dollars to buy a giraffe. Yes. Poaching is rife, and Botswana was doing the same thing. Botswana closed its hunting, and in 5 years, they realized, look at our game numbers. They're dropping. Okay, let's open the hunting again. Who are the people that are going in there? The hunters are going in there. They are seeing the animals. They are stopping the poaching. They are being able to tell the authorities, hey, there was a rhino that we saw that had been killed, its horn had been cut off. Okay, fine, get the people in there. Start concentrating on those areas. The hunter vehicles are the ones that are curbing the poaching. Adding a value to the animal, that money goes back into those concessions to build roads, infrastructure, so that those properties can be managed better.
For the places that stopped the hunting, what were their reasons?
Because they were going on the thing that no, the greenies had all come in and said, you cannot go and hunt this giraffe. It's too beautiful. I can get 50 people to come and take photos of it. But what are those 50 people doing while they are taking the photos there? They're driving. They're destroying your small creatures, your dung beetles. It's all of that kind of stuff. It's not... You go to the Serengeti, you go to the Masai Mara, when the wildebeest are doing their tricks, you know, going into the gorges and stuff, you see how many cameras and vehicles there are parked there, funneling those animals into one narrow place to cross. Whereas if those vehicles weren't there, they could cross anyway. Whereas, so you've got your carbon emissions. If you want to look at carbon emissions are much higher on a photographic safari. Whereas if you're hunting one vehicle for a couple of animals, it's only one vehicle going around. And the value of that animal is going to bring you more profit than a photographic safari. The only way for them to be able to save the rhinos is to be able to sell rhino horn. The poaching of rhinos is 1, 2 a day. And I mean, it's not sustainable. There is misinformation given the entire time about how many rhinos are left. There are lots of rhinos, just nobody knows where they all are. The private guys, they don't advertise, listen, I've got 40 rhinos. And they are spending millions upon millions every single year protecting those rhinos. They've got I've got cameras up. They've got game wardens that walk with each individual rhino. He's got a permanent guy walking behind every single one of those rhinos 24 hours a day. But who are they? They're ex-reccees from USA. Those Americans come there to come and protect. Who's giving them the money? The greenies are funding them to come and protect the rhinos.
Greenies, yeah.
So it's a circle. Yes, there's a place for it. But the value on that animal is if it's going to be hunted, or if the horn or a product of that animal can be sold.
So by putting a monetary value on animals, it's really ending
That's what's saving them.
Because these animals have a monetary value, people are more likely to take care of them in ways that increases their populations, allows them to be taken care of properly. We learned about how the droughts here in Africa over the last 7 years or so had taken a major downturn on animal populations. And because of that, the hunters were there to take care of the animals. The hunters were there to make sure those populations didn't go too low, to make sure those animals were being fed, and to ultimately increase their populations back up to what they are today. Continue to follow along with us as we travel across South Africa. We get to work on amazing animals like zebras and giraffes, Cape buffalo and lions, and showing animal chiropractic to people in places that have never seen it before.